Hello, and welcome to Lee Howard's Health and Wellness Podcast. This is Podcast 2, Season 1. Thanks for joining me. Hey, today's podcast is being brought to you by Ground-Based Nutrition. They put out a product that I use every day called Superfood Protein. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it later in the broadcast, but just know that they are a great product. They found me on TikTok bouncing around in the hills, exercising, doing yoga, and jumping around like a billy goat, and they thought I could use this product, and gosh, I love it. So I'm going to tell you a bit more about it later. In the meantime, thanks for being here. Let's check in with Lee Howard. He's walking up in the hills at 8,700 feet. All right, good morning. Welcome to the show today, podcast number 2. And this is Lee Howard coming to you live from 8,700 feet on my hike. Today I'm going to be talking about cynicism and self-hate. Try to get behind some of the ideas of why you might be gaining weight or being lethargic. Of course, there's many reasons, but what I have found throughout the years in all of my trades and careers was this kind of overwhelming cynicism, which is kind of a cousin to bitterness. It keeps people from doing things. It makes them eat poorly. It makes them have bad relationships. They are bad coworkers. I know. How is this one podcast going to get rid of this malady, right? I'm just investigating it. I think it's a real problem. How does one learn to love themselves in a healthy, kind, gracious way? I'm not talking about, narcissism. I'm talking about appreciating who you are as a person, to start noticing life. When you go for walks, instead of just running through there, maybe stop and smell and put your hands in the soil. This has to be a practice, darling. You don't just arrive at it. I think cynicism and self-hate has been socially engineered. It's an illusion placed on us so that we don't do anything. Debilitated population, a demoralized population. I feel in my life I've had to develop antibodies, an immune system against the cynicism. I hear it right away. I see the dead eyes of the vampires, and I know who to avoid. I wish someone had taught me this years ago. Would have saved a long time of figuring it out. But now I'm going to share it with you. Hey, I'm going to break in and tell you about a product I use. They found me on TikTok. I've been on TikTok about 2 years. # Staying Fit with Lee Howard. It's a fitness show. It's my version of a fitness show. I dance around and do yoga and probably move through 3 or 4 or 5 different sport disciplines in a session, in a 2 or 3 hour session. And they thought I could use this product, and I have loved using it. Thank you, you all. They are an American-based business, a family-based business, ground-based nutrition. Okay, that's ground-based nutrition. Superfood protein. I use the chocolate version. I love a little milkshake in the morning. This is great, clean food. We talk about that a lot on my show. Ground-based nutrition is an innovative leader in the natural plant-based nutrition industry. They pride themselves on using the highest quality, natural, whole food, organic ingredients. They use no artificial sweeteners, colors, flavors, dyes, additives, or preservatives. It's a convenient all-in-one nutritional shake which contains an organic blend of plant-based proteins, greens, superfoods, digestive enzymes, and MCTs from coconut oil. I really find it an energy lift. I can sustain my energy for hours. There's no anything in this that's bad for you. It's all clean food. Some cold water and just drink it the way it is. I tend to add it to my blueberries and kale and kefir and make this kind of recipe that I like. So give it a try. They're on Amazon, but they also have their own product line at their website. That's ground-basednutrition.com. I think that's the one thing that got me out of teaching, is I could not deal with that cynicism anymore. from the staff, from the kids. The kids come out of those schools all pierced up and dressed in black, all these tattoos, and they're angry and bitter and pissed off. What's wrong with that picture? And then they get to be good adults. And not everybody, I shouldn't generalize, but a vast majority end up hating themselves. They don't like themselves. They don't like their body. They don't like their personality. They don't like their face. This all ties into health and wellness. Are you kidding? This is like the foundation under which everything launches. If you love what you're doing and love yourself, oh my God, the sky's the limit. Ditch the naysayers. I mean, at what point do we all say, no, we're sick of it? We're tired of being cynical. I don't want to hate myself. These are just socially engineered conjurings from the mind artists, the name stealers. This is part of their mind arts to get us to feel bad, have a limit to what we can do. Our cynicism stops us, our self-hate. And I've seen this over my time living in this country, is how this socialism has been so embedded, and everyone has to socialize the losses, the lost wars, all of the lost wars we have lost, the murdered people we have murdered all over the world, and the people here in this country have to shoulder the losses. That's also a cynicism. Oh, well, we had to go murder 5 countries in 7 years, completely destroy their infrastructure. That's okay, Americans will move on. This war, so-called, would have been over a month ago, 2 years ago, had we not been so cynical about Russia. For years, 20, 50, 70 years cynical about Russia. Years and years and years of hardened propaganda. And yet, if anybody actually did the research, of which there's a lot, you've got recent accords right back to 2014. They're willing to get us all involved in a nuclear war based on their cynicism. Why should I have to worry about that? Or the crumbling economy? Well, the cynicism of the media is not going to tell me the story. Let me ask you this, listener. Would you rather be an informed citizen or willfully ignorant? I know it's peaceful inside the willfully ignorant. Just go along to get along. I get it. Well, that's why I'm here, because so many people are now so sick, mentally sick. It's beyond mental illness. It's some kind of strange cognitive dissonance. I have a show on TikTok. TikTok seemed like an interesting site a couple years ago when I started. It was kind of the Wild West of the social media world. And I could do these 1-minute clips, and it almost became like a video blog for me, like a health and fitness blog. And I've really enjoyed being on TikTok and being on social media. I'm finding my way with what to talk about and how to say it. I want to see if I can help. Okay, I think the cynicism of the age is hurting us. How does this tie back together to health and wellness, Lee? If you're so cynical, you're going to be angry and negative and eat worse. You'll take in more toxins, more metals, not pay attention to the food you are eating. Taste the food you're eating. Learn how to cook. Learn how to cook better. Buy a new cookbook. Read Michael Pollan's work. There are so many ways to improve the quality of your life. Yet, if we're cynical, we're going to miss life. It's going to go right by us. Do something for someone else today. Lighten your spirit. Laugh at yourself in the mirror. Don't spit at yourself. Laugh at yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to wrap up today's podcast with some words of wisdom. Practice your better self. She's not going to be able to do that if she's cynical and pissed off all the time. So step back, take a breath, and say thank you. Thank you for this life you've given me. In the meantime, darling, I'll see you on podcast 3. Thanks for joining me. Lee Howard's Health and Wellness.